Now, terrorists continue to target Hindu community in Jammu and Kashmir. Shocking killing of a bank manager in Kulgam has now been captured on CCTV cameras. Vijay Kumar, the bank manager from Rajasthan, was shot dead inside his bank branch while on duty. India Today has now accessed exclusive CCTV visuals of the horror, which shows the terrorists firing 2 bullets at the banker. In fact, the manager, Vijay, received grievous gunshot injuries. He was immediately shifted to nearby hospital in a critical condition. However, he was declared brought dead. The civilian killings have now sparked a wave of outrage by the Hindu community living in the valley. Hindu community held a protest in the valley demanding security against these targeted killings. Earlier in May, a Kashmiri Pandit, Rahul Bhatt, a government employee, was shot dead by terrorists. A Dalit Hindu teacher, Rajni Bala, was also shot dead in Kashmir inside her school a couple of days ago. Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir administration has decided to immediately shift migrant employees to other safer zones by 6th of June.
फिर से कुलगाम के अंदर राजस्थान के रहने वाले श्रीमान विजय कुमार साहब, जो इलाकाई देहाती बैंक के अंदर मैनेजर थे, उनको निशाना बनाकर पाकिस्तानी कायर आतंकवादियों ने बहुत बड़ा जघन्य अपराध किया है, महापाप किया। आईएसआई हो या पाकिस्तान की सेना हो, ड्रोन्स के माध्यम से छोटे हथियार, पिस्टल्स, स्टिकी बम्स और नारकोटिक ड्रग्स, इसका प्रयोग इन आतंकवादी घटनाओं में करने की साजिश कर रही है। ड्रोन्स की मदद से पिस्टल्स और स्टिकी बम्स जम्मू कश्मीर में हमारी सीमा के अंदर, एलओसी के अंदर गिराने की साजिश की जा रही है, जिसको हमारी भारतीय सेना, बीएसएफ और पुलिस ने विफल किया है। आगे भी पाकिस्तान के इन तमाम षड्यंत्रों को हम विफल करेंगे। पाकिस्तान को इसकी काली करतूतों के लिए, पाकिस्तान ने जो पाप किए हैं, जो गुनाह किए हैं, इसके लिए भारी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी। पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादियों को पाकिस्तान कश्मीर के अंदर अफगानिस्तान जैसे हालात पैदा करने की एक साजिश और कोशिश कर रहा है। जैसे तालिबान ने अफगानिस्तान के अंदर महिलाओं का कत्ल, बच्चों का कत्ल, बुजुर्गों का कत्ल, अफगानिस्तान को जैसे तालिबान ने बर्बाद किया है, उसी प्रकार पाकिस्तान आतंकवादियों की मदद से कश्मीर को बर्बाद और लहूलुहान करने की बार बार साजिश कर रहा है और बार बार पाकिस्तान को थपेड़े झेलने पड़ेंगे, बार बार पाकिस्तान को उसके गुनाहों की सजा देंगे।
मैं आपके द्वारा अपील करना चाहता हूं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी को, हमारे होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह जी को, कि प्लीज जल्द से जल्द 24 घंटे के अंदर सारे कश्मीरी पंडितों को और माइनॉरिटी कम्युनिटी के जो बाकी लोग हैं, देश के बाहर के जो लोग काम, जैसे राजस्थानी बैंक मैनेजर था जिसको मारा, आज क्या कसूर था उसका, क्या गलतियां की, रजनी बाला की क्या गलती थी, तो टीचर थी, पढ़ा रही थी। राहुल भट्ट की क्या गलती थी, वो तो एक ऑर्डिनरी गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर था वो। तो ये जो मौतें हैं, हम लोग को बलि का बकरा चढ़ाया जा रहा है और इससे बड़ी लानत और इससे बड़ी ट्रेजेडी कुछ नहीं हो सकती।
Yes, you are absolutely right. The brazenness with which the terrorists are walking in and undertaking the act. See, first priority, I personally believe, of the administration should be to protect all these vulnerable people. And I want to know how come this Mr. Vijay Kumar, who was from Rajasthan, I am told only 4 days back he joined in a remote area in Kulgam district. Why should his officer who transferred him there be not held accountable? I think first priority of the government collectively should be to shift all such people to those areas which are protected, where no one can with weapon enter. While simultaneously the all-out operation must continue. Operations relentlessly against terrorism should continue. But we must protect. These are two different things. I have a reason to believe that terrorists have a list of all such vulnerable people, minority people, and people from outside Jammu and Kashmir who can be targeted. And they are doing it one by one. So we must stop this cycle. So my take is let the accountability be fixed of officers concerned, and they are made accountable that no such killing should take place.
आज भी दक्षिण कश्मीर के कुलगाम जिले में एक बैंक मैनेजर की हत्या कर दी गई। बैंक मैनेजर का नाम विजय कुमार है और वो राजस्थान से था। और कहीं ना कहीं जो कश्मीरी पंडित समुदाय के लोग हैं, डोगरा हिंदू समाज के लोग हैं और जो देश के बाकी भागों से हिंदू समाज के लोग हैं जो कश्मीर में इस समय सरकारी नौकरी कर रहे हैं, उनको निशाना बना रहे आतंकवादी। और रजनी बाला की भी अभी हाल ही में आतंकवादियों ने हत्या की, राहुल भट्ट की हत्या की। हम यहाँ पर प्रदर्शनकारियों से बात करते हैं। जी आप बताइए। आप
प्लीज डोंट मेक द इशू ऑफ मेजॉरिटी मिनोरिटी, प्लीज डोंट मेक द इशू ऑफ मेजॉरिटी मिनोरिटी एंड इवन डोंट मेक द इशू ऑफ हिंदू एंड मुस्लिम, प्लीज।
आप बताइए।
यहाँ पर सब जा रहे हैं, वहाँ के लोग भी मर रहे हैं, सिविलियन वहाँ पर।
तो अभी आप क्या समझते हैं कि सरकार को क्या समाधान करना चाहिए?
सर ट्रांसफर चाहिए हमें, बस
जम्मू संभाग
एक ही सॉल्यूशन है इसका कि हमें वहाँ से ट्रांसफर चाहिए बस। और जो हमारी बहन मारी गई उसकी फैमिली को।
जी आप बताइए।
सर
कश्मीर में काम कर।
जी सर, वो मेरी कजन थी जिसकी कल डेथ हो गई है।
रजनी बाला आपकी कजन?
कुलगाम डिस्ट्रिक्ट में थी, वो भी कुलगाम डिस्ट्रिक्ट में है। मेरा स्कूल दूसरा था, उसका दूसरा है, ठीक है। जैसे ही मुझे ये जी सर, तो वहाँ पे हमें हर वक्त सर डर बना रहता। मैं भी उस टाइम पे ड्यूटी पे थी और आप सोच सकते हो कि मुझे उस टाइम पे क्या मतलब मेरा रहा होगा। जैसे मैंने उनके हस्बैंड को फ़ोन किया, जैसे ही मुझे थोड़ा सा पता चला, क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग वो बता रहे थे कि कोई कश्मीरी पंडित वुमेन है, बट मुझे फिर भी लगा कि नहीं, दिल में एक फीलिंग आई आज कोई बच्चे अनाथ हो गए हैं। और जैसे ही मुझे बाद में पता चला कि ये कोई सांबा की थी, क्योंकि मैं भी सांबा से हूँ। मैंने जैसे ही उसके हस्बैंड को फ़ोन किया, उन्होंने मुझे यही वर्ड्स बोले कि इंदू मेरी रजनी को मार दिया है, मेरी रजनी को शूट कर दिया है। आप बताओ उस टाइम पे कैसा हमारा मतलब रहा। हम उसी टाइम वहाँ से भागे हैं सर।
यहाँ पर कुछ और प्रदर्शनकारियों से भी बात करते हैं। जी आप बताइए, आपका नाम? जी आप बताइए। आप कश्मीर में काम करते हैं?
जी।
कहाँ पर?
मैं अनंतनाग डिस्ट्रिक्ट में टीचर हूँ।
अच्छा, मुझे एक चीज़ बताइए, क्या कश्मीर घाटी में इस समय अल्पसंख्यक हिंदू समाज के लोगों के लिए माहौल रहने लायक नहीं है?
जी बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। वहाँ तो सॉफ्ट टारगेट किलिंग्स हो रही है, वो आपको ही पता है। कल जैसे हमारी एक बहन को किलिंग की है, उसकी तो इसकी प्रोटेस्ट में हम यहाँ पे आए और हम चाहते हैं सरकार से कि वो जल्दी से हमें वहाँ से ट्रांसफ़र कर ले।
All right, we saw Sunil ji Bhatt, in fact, trying to speak with those protesters, many of them very furious and frustrated that they're not able to live in peace and safety in their own hometown. Also, Ashraf Wani joining us for a little perspective there. But Sunil, we heard you speaking and interacting with many of those Hindus, largely the Kashmiri Pandits who are currently in the valley. They feel so threatened and they look like they feel they are failed by successive governments, including the BJP. They've claimed time and again that no government has been able to secure them the way they should be. What is their exact grounds? Now with the government deciding to move several government employees to the district headquarters, do they believe that that's going to really help in their safety and security? Is that one of the solutions that they could look into? Are they happy with?
Well, Nabila, yesterday Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha chaired an important meeting in Srinagar, and it was decided that all Hindu government employees who are serving in the valley will be transferred to district headquarters within the Kashmir Valley. But today, once again, a targeted killing has taken place of a Hindu government employee who belonged to Rajasthan, and there is massive anger among the Hindu government employees who are serving in the valley. Many of them have fled from there. These are the members of the Hindu Dogra community from Jammu region. They are staging protests here in Jammu, and they are demanding that all Hindu government employees who are serving in the valley should be transferred to Jammu. They are saying that the steps and the announcements that have been made by the LG administration are not sufficient. Hindus are not safe in the Kashmir Valley, whether it's district headquarters or far-flung areas. In all areas, they are feeling unsafe, and terrorists are carrying out killings at any point of time, at any place. I will try and speak to some protesters here. जी मुझे बताइए, जो जम्मू कश्मीर के उपराज्यपाल मनोज सिन्हा ने जो कल घोषणा की कि जिला मुख्यालयों में आपका तबादला किया जाएगा, क्या आपको लगता है कि ये एक सोल्यूशन नहीं है इसका?
सर सोल्यूशन कॉमन है। आपने देखा अभी जो जिला मुख्यालय के बीच में बैंक के अंदर जाकर उसको गोली मार के हत्या कर देगी। बंदा सेफ कहाँ है? यहाँ पे कहाँ जाएगा कश्मीर में? बताओ। हमारी फैमिली है उधर, बच्चे वहाँ पे थे हमारे साथ, लेकिन अब सबको हम लेके यहाँ पे आ गए। जिनके बच्चे वहाँ पे एडमिशन करवाई हुई है वो भी सेफ नहीं है।
तो आप सब छोड़ छाड़ के वहाँ से
आना, उधर मरना थोड़ी है। कितनी कुर्बानी देनी है वहाँ पे?
तो अभी अगर देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, देश के गृह मंत्री अमित शाह आपको सुन रहे हो, देख रहे हो, क्या कहेंगे आप?
अगर हमें वो सुन रहे हैं तो हमें उनसे यही अपील है कि हमें बैक टू होम भेजा जाए, अपने होम डिस्ट्रिक्ट में। हम वहाँ पे मरने के लिए नहीं जाना, हमें वहाँ पे नौकरी हम नहीं करेंगे, जॉब करेंगे हम अपने घर में करेंगे। यहाँ पे कहीं भी एडजस्ट कर दो, हिली एरियाज में कर दो, कहीं भी कर दो, यहाँ भी हम जॉब करने को तैयार हैं, लेकिन वहाँ पे मरने के लिए हम नहीं जाएंगे।
जी आप बताइए, आप भी कश्मीर में कार्य करते हैं?
जी हाँ, मैं जहाँ अभी रिसेंटली किलिंग हुई है, मैं वहीं पर पास में ही रहा।
कुलगाम में?
हाँ, मेरे जान पहचान के थे वो।
अभी आप सब छोड़ छाड़ के यहाँ गए?
अब जान बचे तो लाखों पाए। मैं कहना चाहूँगा, जो तन लागे सो तन जाने, कौन जाने पीठ पर आई। इस अगर आप फिक्रे का मतलब जानते हैं तो इस वक्त हमारे दिल में क्या हो रहा है हम व्यक्त ही नहीं कर सकते। मेरे जो परम मित्र हैं, जिनकी वाइफ की हत्या हुई है, मतलब सुबह शाम हम लोग जो है एक साथ बैठते थे। मैं इस बात को अभी भी समझ लो कि मेरे दिल मन में से उतर ही नहीं रहा है कि वो इस दुनिया में नहीं है। मैं कैसे सच मानूं?
तो आपको क्या लगता है सरकार की विफलता है?
मुझे जब उनका चेहरा सामने आ रहा है, मेरे आंसू ही नहीं रुक रहे हैं।
तो अभी क्या लगता है आपको, सरकार की विफलता है कि बार बार ऐसी जो है टारगेटेड किलिंग्स हो रही हैं और इस पर कुछ रोकथाम नहीं हो पा रही है?
जबकि जितनी बार भी किलिंग हुई है, हमने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को जाके रूबरू उनसे बात की थी कि ऐसा हो रहा है और इस पर एक्शन लिया जाए, मगर उन्होंने यही कहा था कि भाई कुछ भी नहीं है, आप क्यों घबरा रहे हो, वो तो कश्मीरी पंडितों का मसला है। लेकिन अब ये है कि जो जम्मू बेस्ड हम एम्प्लॉयड हैं, हम एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, जब हम कहेंगे नॉन हिंदू हैं, जो हिंदू हैं, नॉन मुस्लिम हैं, उनको सीधा टारगेट हो रहा है।
आपका कहने का ये अर्थ है कि चाहे कश्मीरी पंडित समुदाय हो, चाहे जम्मू के डोगरा हिंदू समाज के लोग हो, या देश के अलग भागों से जो हिंदू समाज के लोग हैं जो कश्मीर घाटी में कार्यरत हैं, वो अभी असुरक्षित है वहाँ पे?
बिल्कुल पूरी तरह से। और हमारी एक ही डिमांड है कि अगर आप हमें बचाना चाहते हैं तो हमें वापस घर भेज दो, हम बाकी की बची नौकरी जहाँ पर ही करेंगे।
So Nabila, clearly you just heard from the protesting employees here that they are saying that the solution that has been devised by the LG administration is not acceptable to them. They want transfer to Jammu region. Nabila, back to you.
Right, Sunil, stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across to Ashraf Wani, who's also joining us for more on that. Ashraf, so outraged, the Hindu community there in the valley are not requesting anymore. They're demanding that they be moved to Jammu, areas that are a lot more safe for the Hindu community. Even if it is a hilly region, they don't mind, but they'll work anywhere in Jammu, their hometown. They do not want to stay in the Kashmir Valley. And it somehow seems like that's exactly the purpose and the goal that these terrorists want to achieve. They want to literally filter the Kashmir Valley and keep it centric to their own. And to speak of targeted killings, not even Muslims who are supporting the Hindus are spared. A classic example, Amreen, who was gunned down.
Absolutely, Nabila. Absolutely, Nabila. Basically, this is the only strategy by the militant groups here in the Kashmir Valley, that there should be a pressure and a kind of a situation in the Kashmir Valley where minorities will feel unsafe even in the government. That is the purpose, and that is why the government of Jammu and Kashmir, particularly the LG administration, is trying to pursue and to convey to these government employees that if they are going to leave the Kashmir Valley, there will be a kind of atmosphere in the Kashmir where not any non-Muslim or non-local employee will be visible or will be serving for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Because after the union, after the abrogation of Article 370, when Jammu and Kashmir became UT, this was the first priority of the government, not only state but in fact central government, that the way it should be working the Jammu and Kashmir on the union territory terms, where any person from any part of the Kashmir Valley could serve in the Jammu, and the people from the Jammu and other parts of the country could serve in the Kashmir Valley. So that is a big challenge now for the government and the LG administration here in the Kashmir Valley, that how this issue could be sorted out, how this problem could be sorted out, and how this targeted killings could be curbed or controlled. So far we are seeing that many measures are being taken. A series of meetings yesterday by the LG with the administration here in the Srinagar. Then the Home Minister is going to address the same issue with the Jammu and Kashmir government and the administration tomorrow to sort out how these things could be protected. But undoubtedly the first priority here for the Jammu and Kashmir administration is to save the lives in the future, and so that any precious life could not get wasted in the coming time. That is the first priority. That is why now we are seeing the area has been cordoned out in the Kulgam district, where this killing was carried out today in the morning, and also some operations being launched in the different parts of the Kashmir Valley to nab those attacker who was responsible for the killing of Vijay Kumar in the Kulgam district.
All right, Ashraf, stay with us. Of course, Ashraf as well as Sunilji Bhatt on top of this story. India today has been highlighting the number of killings, targeted killings in the recent past against Hindus, largely some Muslims as well, who've fallen prey to those terrorists. Anyone who does not conform to their ideas seem to be their target. Amid targeted killings here in the valley, the Jammu and Kashmir administration has now finally decided to transfer all Hindu government employees to the district headquarters. Police officials now will be ensuring that no Hindu employee should work and reside in isolated areas anymore, because they could be susceptible for a terrorist attack. The move comes after government employees threatened a mass resignation and gave an ultimatum to the government. In fact, Sunilji Bhatt, Ashraf Vani, both of them bringing us this exclusive report. Let's have a look.
May 31, 2022, Hindu woman teacher Rajni Bala shot dead by terrorists in Kashmir. May 17th, 2022, 52-year-old liquor shop owner Ranjit Singh killed in a grenade attack. May 12th, 2022, Kashmiri Hindu Rahul Bhatt killed in cold blood at his government office. A reign of terror has been unleashed on Hindus, particularly Kashmiri Pandits. As fear grows in the valley, the government has finally taken a major decision. By the 6th of June, all Hindu government employees will be shifted to offices in district headquarters in the Kashmir Valley. They will be provided with security accommodation so that their safety may be ensured. Top administration and police officers have been tasked to ensure no Hindu employees should work or reside in isolated areas. An option has been given to government staff to move to Jammu if they still feel insecure. The extraordinary step has been taken by the administration after Kashmiri Pandits staged a series of protests in Jammu and in Kashmir, demanding better security and relocation to safer areas.
The local people are staging protests against the J&K administration. Yesterday, a Hindu teacher, Rajni Bala, was assassinated by the terrorists in South Kashmir's Kulgam district. People of this area, as well as the relatives of Rajni Bala, are staging protests. They have blocked Jammu-Pathankot highway. The angry protesters are demanding that all Hindu government employees who are serving in the valley should be transferred to Jammu, as they are not safe in the Kashmir Valley.
Opposition parties have also slammed the government for not doing enough to protect minorities in Kashmir.
16 कश्मीरी पंडितों को इसी साल चुन चुन के मारा गया। कश्मीर का आम आदमी यही चाहता है कि कश्मीर में रहने वाले हिंदू और मुसलमान सभी एक साथ रहें, सुख से रहें।
अफसोस तो इस बात का भी है जो कश्मीर बेस्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ हैं वो लगातार ये घटनाओं का कंडेम न करके सरकार को कोसती हैं, सुरक्षा बलों को कोसती हैं। सुरक्षा बल बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं।
The move by the J&K administration comes as security forces have intensified their operations to hunt down Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terrorists. This year alone, 145 terrorists have been neutralized so far. With Sunilji Bhatt in Jammu and Ashraf Vani in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, cutting across to our reporters, Ashraf Vani, Sunilji Bhatt, both are on this story, bringing us the latest details on the kind of anger coming out from the Hindu community, particularly the Kashmiri Pandits, a huge rally that they're carrying out now. Sunilji Bhatt, you've spoken to a bunch of them and they say that they refuse to stay back in the Kashmir Valley. They want to be moved to Jammu. Is it possible for the government now to move them en masse Because if not, they've already threatened to resign en masse from their government jobs. And if they do, then what are the other alternatives? What kind of work can they take up to survive and feed their family at this point? Has the government come out to assure them anything more than what they've just done to move government employees to district headquarters? That also is something that they're not willing to do.
Well, Nabila, government is caught in a catch-22 situation because on one hand, the Hindu government employees who are serving in the valley are feeling unsafe. They want to migrate to Jammu. And on the other hand, the government, if it decides to move them out of the valley, it will be seen as a failure of the government that they couldn't protect even handful of Hindu community members in the valley. And this is something which the terrorists want. They want to cleanse Kashmir Valley of all Hindus. So government is caught in catch-22 situation. They have to save the lives of the Hindu community members, and at the same time they have to ensure that they don't migrate to Jammu region. So it's a very difficult situation for the government, but many security analysts are of the view that till the time the government is able to contain this new threat of hybrid terrorism, till that time the Hindu government employees should be shifted to Jammu region, because lives cannot be lost, because many people have been killed by the terrorists in the recent spate of targeted killings, and it's time that the government takes some decision so that the Hindu community members feel safe. And the only solution that is in sight right now is to move them out of the valley for the time being till the situation normalizes in the Kashmir Valley. Nabila, back to you.
All right, now, Sunil, as we see the CCTV footage where we see those terrorists have brazenly walked into the premises of the bank and shot him down point blank, have the military or the police personnel there managed to catch him? Because the CCTV footage very clearly shows the man, what he was wearing, what he possesses in his hand. As he moved out, he fled with so much ease. Any word on who this terrorist is and any word of him being tracked down?
Well, Nabila, the security forces are on their job to identify the terrorists who carried out this killing today in South Kashmir's Kulgam district. But Nabila, time and again such killings are taking place, and in the recent past this new wave of hybrid terrorism has been escalated by the terrorists, and it has emerged as a major challenge for the security agencies. The security agencies are trying their level best to ensure that all terrorists are eliminated, but the fact of the matter is that killings continue to take place. There are people who are leaking information about the movement of the Hindu government employees, and in this case also, in the bank manager's case also, there is suspicion that somebody must have leaked this information to the terrorists, that this is a Hindu government employee who is from Rajasthan and he has recently joined there. So the terrorists targeted him. He was assassinated right inside his office. So clearly, Nabila, the security situation has deteriorated in the Kashmir Valley. So the security forces have their task cut out. On one hand, they have to eliminate the terrorists, and they have to also identify the black sheeps within the system who are leaking the information of the movement of the innocent people. So it's a big challenge for the security agencies. Nabila.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us with those details. As we see here, several killings in Kashmir in the recent past itself, sending out shockwaves among the minority community. Of course, even Muslims are not being spared. Anyone who does not conform to the ideas of these terrorists are the prime target. India Today continues its exclusive and in-depth coverage on the kind of targeted killings currently taking place in Jammu and Kashmir. Do stay with us.